Hi everyone, I'm Jessica and welcome back to my kitchen. Today's recipe is one that I really love. It's super simple, it's really satisfying, it's super flavorful. So I'm going to be showing you how to make some savory potato waffles. And these waffles are awesome because the main ingredient that you need to put them together is steamed potatoes. Basically, to get this prepped, I just took two medium or large russet potatoes. I peeled them and I steamed them until they were fork tender. And so now I have my potatoes in a bowl. This recipe is just as easy as steaming your potatoes, mashing them with a fork, using your hands to form them with a ball, and then cooking them in your waffle iron. Like real easy stuff. So you can do these plain, but we want to season these up just a little bit to give them some extra flavor. So I have here dried parsley, garlic powder, some red chili flakes, some sea salt, and turmeric. These are just the spices that I'm in the mood for today, but you could flavor these however you like. And then just to make this a more whole, balanced meal, I'm going to be topping these potatoes off with a few different things. So I have here some lightly steamed sauteed bell peppers and kale. I also have half of an avocado that I've sliced up, some cherry tomatoes that I've sliced up, and then some Cuban black beans. So without further ado, let's get started with this recipe. So all I'm going to do here is take my fork and just mash these potatoes up. They've been steamed on high heat for about 7 minutes. And so they cook through pretty quickly and very evenly. And they're soft enough that I can just mash them up with my fork. Now you could use a potato masher if you have one, or you could throw these into a food processor to just blitz them up in a few seconds. And all of those options are great. I was just in the mood to do less dishes today, so I decided to go with a fork. Now that these potatoes are all mashed up, it's time to go ahead and add in our spices. So I have here a half teaspoon of ground turmeric. I have here a half teaspoon of sea salt. I have 1/2 teaspoon of red chili flakes. Let's do it all. A little spice doesn't hurt anybody. And then I have a teaspoon of garlic powder. Get that all in there. And 1 teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. So, like I said, a very simple combination, but it's going to infuse and imbue some lovely flavors into these potatoes. You could add some vegan cheese shreds or some nutritional yeast if you wanted to. If you wanted to have a slightly cheesy flavor, like I said, curry powder I think would be really good in this. Um, Maybe some masala spice. I'm trying to think of other good spice blends that would go good on potatoes. I mean, like I said, anything honestly that you will eat on a potato or with a potato would be good in these potato waffles. All right, so now these potatoes have a little more color to them. Hopefully you can see the texture a little bit better here on screen. But we're getting our spices mixed in nice and smooth. And the more you mash it and stir together, you can see that something like a dough is starting to form already. So it is building up, some of those starches inside the potatoes. We're working those a little bit. We don't want to overwork them. We don't want them to be gummy, but we do want them to activate just a little bit because that's going to help to bring our potato dough together to make our waffles. But it's also going to help these potatoes get that nice, beautiful brown crisp on the outside, activating those starches. And it's going to help this bind together so it's not falling apart. So I think we're all nicely mixed here. And I think I should be able to get about four waffles out of this. Maybe 3. Let me go for 3. Go for 3 waffles here. So just using my fork to eyeball it and then kind of split it into even sections. Okay. And then we're just going to pick up our dough here and then roll it into a nice ball. And these are going to be very nice sized waffles. I would say, depending on what else you're eating and how much of whatever else you're eating, that will determine, your serving size. So now, honestly, this almost looks like, slightly smaller than the potato itself. So usually if you have a potato about this size, you'll get about as many waffles as you have potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead, roll this together. And we're rolling it together, not just so that they can be evenly portioned, but also it really binds our mashed potatoes together so they don't crack. in the waffle iron. And like I said, it just helps them to not fall apart while they cook in there or when we open the waffle iron back up. That's the big thing. Because sometimes, a lot of times, my waffles will split and the top is hanging onto the top and the bottom's hanging on the bottom. So we want this to stay intact during and after the cooking process, right? This is a non-stick waffle iron, but just to make sure everything comes out nice and easy, I am going to use a little bit of cooking oil spray. So I'm just going to spray the top, spray the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get our first potato waffle on the iron, and I'm just taking it and flattening out here with my hands because these are not going to spread or rise in the waffle iron at all. Kind of what you see is what you get. So I'm probably pressing them out into a circle shape that is about a ½ inch thick. I'm more worried about the thickness and the circumference here. So yeah, we got about a ½ inch thickness on these. So now we're just going to sift them down. Once you put it down, you can't really move it. And we're going to press it down, and then I'm going to use my towel here just to squeeze it shut, make sure it's fully pressed down. And then I'm going to flip it over and let it cook, and we've got a waffle on the way. So I'm just going to start off by putting down a base of our sauteed veggies. Everything else will go on top of the waffle, but get the veggies in. Got our plate of steam sauteed kale and bell peppers here. Up. And it is a beauty. Can you all see this? Here is our potato waffle. Beautiful, golden brown, delicious, nice and crisp on the outside. All right, so we're going to use our spatula. Okay, kitchen tools. All right. And here we have our golden spiced savory potato waffle on the plate, looking fantastic. So we're going to go in with our Cuban black beans, flavored however you like. Would be fantastic, a fantastic complement to this. Okay, so we're going in with our Cuban black beans, get a little nice drizzle going here. Yum. Now we're going in with our avocado. Okay, just a few tomatoes. Simple, simple. So here is our delicious savory potato waffle with Cuban black beans, some sauteed veggies, topped off with some sliced avocado and tomatoes. This is a favorite of mine. So easy, simple, balanced, delicious. I'm going to go ahead and do a little taste test of everything. I like to get a little bit of everything on my fork. All right. So delicious, so simple, so flavorful, so easy. I love the complement of different textures in here in addition to the flavors. Potato waffle is crispy on the outside, creamy on the inside like mashed potatoes. Got our delicious sauteed greens and peppers, and then that creamy avocado, those savory, creamy black beans, and then that fresh little bit of tomato. So delicious, so fantastic. I highly recommend that you give this a try. Put your potatoes in the waffle maker, see what you come up with.